They said The Age of Disclosure was a documentary, a new dawn of truth. But that wasn't what it was. It wasn't a film. It was a signal. Something that shouldn't have been seen. Something that used the audience to transmit what couldn't be spoken aloud. They told you it was about UFOs. They lied. It was about us. And what happens when the watchers realize we've been watching back. Today, we dive into the age of disclosure, the confession they tried to erase. I was there, not as a filmmaker, as an observer. My clearance didn't exist on paper. They said I was part of the security team, but my real assignment was simpler. Watch what happens when the truth leaks by accident. The studio thought they were documenting whistleblowers, but the agencies funding it had another purpose, a stress test for reality. They called it Project Echo. Its goal, measure how much forbidden knowledge the public could process before cognitive collapse. At first it looked harmless. 34 officials, each confirming pieces of the myth. Alien technology, crash retrievals, a global containment network. But then something went wrong. One of the witnesses broke script. He wasn't a scientist, not a pilot. He was a containment specialist. He stared straight into the camera and said, "You're not interviewing us about them. You're interviewing us because they told you to." Silence. The crew froze. The lights flickered. That segment never aired. It was erased, burned in front of us, the reel hissing as it turned to smoke. But under that crackle, I swear I heard voices. Not playback, whispers, dozens of them. That was the night I realized we hadn't made a documentary. We'd opened a frequency. A week later, strange things began happening in post-production. Footage rearranged itself, faces blurred and reappeared, audio tracks played backward. The editor thought it was corruption. I knew better. The distortion matched a signal I'd seen once before, back in a classified experiment called Project Gleam. It tested alien light frequencies that could embed intelligence into digital media. In other words, the footage was alive. Every time we rendered the film, new shapes appeared in the reflections, tall, white silhouettes watching from behind the glass. They weren't crew, they weren't human. The AI tracking system couldn't lock onto them. The software flagged them as missing data. But one still frame caught my attention. Frame 482. A face, pale, crystalline, almost transparent. And then the time code shifted on its own. It spelled one word: repeat. At first, I thought it was coincidence, until the director called a secret meeting. He looked exhausted, haunted, and he said, "That's why it's called the Age of Disclosure. It's not about telling the truth. It's about training people to survive it." Then he leaned closer and whispered, "Disclosure isn't coming. It's looping." Roswell, Rendlesham, the Tic Tac videos, and now this film.
Every 20 years, a piece of the truth is released. Just enough to awaken curiosity, not enough to cause panic. It's not revelation, it's conditioning. We're being prepared, adjusted. Each cycle, the message grows clearer. A few nights later, the first whistleblower vanished, then another, then 11. The official story: heart attacks, car crashes, extended travel. but their phones kept logging in, always from the same encrypted network. Someone or something was still using their accounts. One message reached me, a distorted voice whispering through static. They made us the medium. I checked the metadata. It wasn't transmitted through the internet. It came from the raw footage of the age of disclosure itself. The film was transmitting on its own. When I tried to alert my contact inside the agency, he replied instantly, "We know. That's why you were assigned. Keep the signal stable." I realized then we weren't observing the phenomenon. We were feeding it. The film wasn't designed to inform. It was designed to replicate. Every upload, every share, every replay carried a low-frequency modulation tuned to human brainwaves. They called it cognitive resonance, but the insiders had another name for it: inoculation. They're not hiding the truth. They're introducing it, one story at a time, until alien contact feels like memory instead of revelation. People started reporting strange experiences after watching. Dreams of burning film reels, voices whispering their names, reflections that didn't match their movements. And the more views the video got, the stronger the effects became. The data showed synchronization spikes, millions of viewers aligning in subconscious rhythm, a planetary hum hidden under the noise of streaming data. That's when I understood the final stage of Project Echo. Humanity wasn't the audience. We were the antenna. Then came the coordinates. Hidden in the closing credits, tiny numbers buried in the static. Some viewers decoded them and posted the location. An abandoned range in Nevada, decommissioned, supposedly. But satellite scans from last week show new heat signatures, geometric, pulsating, growing. And near the center of the site, burned into the sand, a perfect circle. Inside it, a single symbol. Echo 3, the project that started it all. I've tried to walk away, delete the files, forget the faces, but every night I hear that same word repeating in the static. Every time I close my eyes, the reflection watches back. They said the age of disclosure would change humanity forever. Maybe it already has, because if you've watched this far, you're part of it now. Your eyes processed the frequency. Your mind carried the pattern. And somewhere in the noise between signals, something ancient just learned your name. End of transmission. Repeat.